Last year we sold our house and we packed all our stuff into storage.
So I've loaded up the car, hooked on the camper and decided to go and see this beautiful country of ours.
When we get back from our trip, we want to buy our own small farm, so we're hoping to be encouraged by the way others are growing their own food and loving it.
We want to be encouraged by meeting new people and hearing their stories.
And to top it all off, we're excited that we've got another little one on the way. So join us on our journey of being rookies on the road to becoming farmers.
So coming into WA, it was time for us to get into four-wheel drive and hit the dirt tracks for a fair while. Now, to say that I was excited is a bit of an understatement, wasn't it?
Yes, just a little bit. To say I was nervous.
We're spot on.
We're spot on. We've left South Australia and we're all about exploring Western Australia this week, and we're going across the Nullarbor.
I'm a little bit excited about going across the Nullarbor. It's always been something I've always wanted to do. And I don't know why, it's just a straight road. And
when you make it halfway across Australia, you get to celebrate by seeing a giant galah. Yeah, this big giant thing here. It's called the Big Galah. Evie thought it was pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Well, that's good.
The Nullarbor was a real surprise package for us. Seeing the amazing sunsets dropping over the west and some of the amazing country, the colour of the dirt.
It just like the redness and the deep redness of the dirt.
It's just so rich, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's like, oh, it's dirt and it's rocks and blah, and all that sort of stuff. But when you actually see it in real life, it's just, yeah, it's quite incredible, especially coming from the East Coast where we don't really have anything like that.
And your eyes just can't believe the colours that you're seeing at times. Like some of those sunsets, especially the one on the rocks there, that was just
absolutely
incredible.
Stunning.
Yep. So when you're heading to remote regions, sometimes your fuel, and for us, you know, it's the diesel, that it gets pretty scarce. And we're driving through this one place and there was this beautiful, beautiful woman. She's just at the Bowser, you know, just real relaxed and chilled out. And
you shouldn't be checking out other women.
Good going, mate? Yeah. Good. What's going on there? You got bitten by a wasp or something?
She's a bit knocked up too, so she comes with some baggage.
Let's rock and roll. Jump in the car.
So one of the trails that we're going to tackle is the Cocklebiddy to Israelite Bay. So that's a run along the whole coastline of WA where, you know, you've got all the cliffs and you're driving on the beaches, there's no one else around. It's, you know, really remote and a whole heap of fun.
Like, how stunning was it to see the red cliffs of the south coast?
Yeah, so they've got an area called the Baxter Cliffs, which runs from, you know, Cocklebiddy a fair way down the coast. And it's just like a sheer, 50-metre drop on the
massive,
edge?
Yeah.
And we're literally driving like 10 metres away from it. And just some of the stunning scenery that we saw on that path was really great. And then going down to Twilight Cove.
Yes.
Down to the beach. Not a soul around, no one there.
Except a massive school of salmon.
That I didn't catch any of. I tried.
You had a good crack. So we full drived on the beach, which we've done a million times before.
Yeah.
But the difference was,
a little bit special this time.
We went to this place called Bilbunya Dunes, and I'm like, oh yeah, sand dunes, this is going to be good.
Same old thing, Dean, you know.
Next minute, it felt like we're in the Middle East or something, because these dunes were like
Sahara.
The size of, I don't even know what.
What do they say? They're about like
100 metres or something.
150 metres high?
Anyway, Evie wanted to climb them because she loves climbing sand dunes. I'm like, oh, they might be a little bit big for you, Ev. And we did have a few people say to us, oh, you won't get across there, you won't get across the salt flats and blah, blah, blah. And oh, well.
Probably should have listened.
Yeah. Don't worry, everyone, we had a sat phone. So we did play it safe.
If you're after any details about the trip that we did, you know, from Cocklebiddy all the way through to Israelite Bay, jump on the Gathering Folk webpage, check out the Gathering Bloke, that's me, and have a look at some of the details. We'll have blogs on there, we'll have information about, you know, where to go, what to see and do, and what the track is like.
And what gear to take, like a sat phone.
It's pretty remote country, and yeah, you've got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. Plenty of water on board, all those kinds of things.
So we made it safely out the other side of our four-wheel drive adventure, and we thought it might be time for a little bit of family downtime.
Bit of time to relax, you know.
Relax.
Kick back. There's a few intense moments.
So we found this cool little spot, but we're not going to tell you the name because we liked it so much, we'd like to keep it pretty low-key. So while we were there, we actually got to spot some whales in the water, and they came right into the bay, and they were like jumping out of the water and waving their fin.
Like coming from Newcastle, we get to see them in the ocean probably
they're like
a K offshore.
Yeah.
You know, and you're there, oh yeah, I just saw a whale. You see this like little splash.
Yeah.
Literally, these whales were like 50 metres off the beach.
And you could walk out on the rocks and have a really good look at them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so big.
Massive. Massive. The South Coast is renowned for whales. So it was, you know, we'd travelled all the way along the South Coast, and then we finally sort of got to like the bit right before we were about to start to head up, and then we had the best experience with the whales because we hadn't seen any before that. So, yeah.
It's worth the effort, isn't it? You know, to find those little special places that...
It's worth driving halfway around Australia to see whales come into the bay, I tell you now.
It really was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I
It sounded a little bit sarcastic, but...
But you mean it.
I do mean it.
So we've been on the road for a fair while now, and Dr. Evie turned up and thought it was a good time to check our temperatures, check the heart rate, and obviously check up on number 2
Yes.
and Mummy.
So she was like checking the heartbeat of the baby through the belly, making sure it was okay.
Is that good, Ev? Yeah, it sounds all right.
So how do you get checkups on the road? Just take a 4-year-old who thinks she's a doctor.
Dream big, Ev.
I'm all good. I got the checkup. The baby's good. So it was time for us to do some more learning and some more gathering of information.
Just absorbing like a sponge.
And last week we promised you we would do an urban setup, so we were really excited that we got to go this week to Perth City Farm. So we made it all the way to Perth, and then we got to rock up at this farm in the middle of the city. So Perth City Farm used to be like a toxic waste dump, basically. So Perth City Farm was founded around '94, and they had to remove I think it was like 2 metres of toxic soil from this top of the site.
Yep.
And just get rid of that. And then they spent like the next 10 years basically rebuilding the soil and making it rich in nutrients again. And by 2003, they had organic certification. And
Really?
that just blew my mind. I think the fact that...
Something that was so bad. So bad.
So bad.
Oils, paints.
And they were able to restore the land back to, you know, what it should be, full of nutrients and able to bring life. So we were really blessed to spend the day with 2 of the many hands that keep Perth City Farm going.
So Ali looks after the nursery, and we nicknamed her the little nursery mum. She looks after all the seedlings and planting of new seeds and all that kind of stuff. And Evie got to spend about, half a day with her, and like warmed up to her in like 3 seconds flat, I reckon. It was like, hi, my name's Evie, my name's Ali, boom.
Next
Instant
minute,
friends.
best friends.
Yeah, can you be part of our family, Ali, please?
We could have spent weeks there because there was so much to learn. Evie managed to score herself a name badge, and she's
a
quite
little bit
proud
excited
of
about
that.
that, wasn't she?
We didn't get a name badge, but she got herself a name badge. Which
She always seems to get the special stuff. It might be because she's just like ridiculously cute
and 4. She gave us tips on like what to plant our seeds into, how to plant them, and it was all about light and moisture.
So one of the really quick and easy tips that Ali gave us was to make sure, that the seed size that you have and you're planting it as a new plant to grow, to make sure that you plant at the depth of the diameter of the seed. So, if your seed is 5 mil in depth or 3 mil in depth, make sure it goes 3 mil below the surface of the soil that you're planting it in, and she'll be right, mate.
Because you don't want to plant it too far down, because then it's really hard for
It's a long way for it to come up.
It's for it to come up out into the
But then
sun.
if it's too close, it dries out.
And that's it. Okay, so we've learnt about big farm animals. We've learnt about veggies. We've learnt about flowers.
Now it's time to learn about the important ones.
The little ones. So we met Ben, who's the worm man.
He's the guru.
He knows all about them, and he took some time out of his day to teach us about what's important about worms and worm poo and how they help grow plants and all of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So Evie and I got to spend some time going through the worm process, I suppose, yeah. Worm farms, if you do them right, they don't smell. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you could, like, if you lived in an apartment, you could actually you can buy, like, the proper worm farms. You don't have to, like, make your own or whatever, but you can buy ones where you keep the worms contained. And as long as you don't feed them too many scraps, you shouldn't get any smell because
What
really
do worms smell like though, if it goes bad?
nothing. Oh, well, you'll smell like rotten food because they haven't
not
been
getting through it all.
Yeah, that's right.
Aha.
And then the other cool thing is, if you actually live in Perth and you don't want to try and grow things from seed, you can go and buy the seedlings from Perth City Farm.
Yeah, they sell them, don't they?
Yeah, and you can help to keep Perth City Farm running, and then you can have like a little herb garden or veggie garden or lettuce garden or whatever the heck you want.
And I'm sure you'll get a few other great tips out of Ali or Ben as well.
So we made it all the way to WA, all the way to the other side of Australia from
The other coastline.
From where we live. We've had a little checkup here in Perth.
Made sure all the vitals, everything's all tracking as it should be.
The lovely midwife checked the bump, the heartbeat's going.
Evie was there, she checked it out too.
It's all spot on. So just when I thought we were going to get to cruise home. So now Dean wants to do more of the Northern Territory.
The Kimberleys, here we come.
No, we need to go home very soon.
We'll see you next week for a bit of this. Shay's favourite, corrugations. We'll see you all next week for our final episode for the trip along the Gibb River Road and the journey all the way home.
Bye guys.
See ya.